Imagine investing millions into a grand construction project only to see it collapse due to a critical mistake. From leaning towers to crumbling bridges, the most expensive construction errors reveal the fine line between brilliance and disaster. But how did these missteps occur, and what are the consequences? First, we have the least expensive construction mistake, the Citigroup Center in Midtown Manhattan. This 280-meter-high office skyscraper is supported by 34-meter-long foundation pillars. In 1978, civil engineer William Lemercier realized a critical construction mistake during a conversation with civil engineering student Diane Hartley from Princeton. The building was designed to handle winds from the sides, but not from the corners. Engineer Hartley noticed this issue and warned that it could be unsafe. Tests later confirmed her warning. Lemercier estimated that winds strong enough to cause the building to collapse could occur once every 55 years under normal conditions. However, if the building's mass damper failed, those dangerous winds could happen every 16 years. This meant that the risk of collapse was significantly higher if the damper was not functioning properly, raising serious concerns about the building's long-term safety. A collapse of the building would have been disastrous, possibly damaging nearby skyscrapers. The estimated cost to fix the construction mistake was about $1 million, a small amount compared to the potential losses if the building had collapsed, which could have been in the hundreds of millions, not to mention the risks to people's safety and other buildings. To prevent public panic, the issue was kept secret while engineers worked at night for 3 months. Fortunately, Hurricane Ella, which was heading for New York, did not reach the city, and the repairs were finished in October 1978. Next, we have the I-35W bridge that collapsed in Minneapolis on August 1, 2007. It stands as one of the most significant infrastructure failures in recent U.S. history. This bridge, which crossed the Mississippi River and linked the I-35 freeway, was very important for the city, carrying over 140,000 vehicles every day. On that tragic day, during the evening rush hour, the bridge suddenly collapsed, causing many cars and people to fall into the river. 13 people lost their lives and 145 were injured. This disaster was a terrible loss of life and highlighted the hidden dangers of old infrastructure. The subsequent investigation revealed that the collapse was due to a critical design flaw that had been ignored for decades. Specifically, the gusset plates, metal sheets used to connect beams and support structures, were found to be too thin to handle the bridge's load. Over time, the bridge experienced more traffic and changes that added extra weight, including construction work that was happening when it failed. The gusset plates, which were too thin, bent and eventually failed under the heavy load of vehicles, leading to the failure of the entire structure. The NTSB later confirmed that this design flaw was the primary cause, raising serious concerns about the safety standards and supervision of similar infrastructure across the country. The I-35W bridge collapse sparked a national conversation about America's infrastructure, leading to increased inspections and funding for repairs. Many bridges were found to be structurally deficient, pushing officials to prioritize safety. The CNA Center in Chicago, recognized for its striking red exterior, is not only an architectural landmark, but also well known for a significant design error that resulted in one of the more costly mistakes in modern construction. When the building was initially designed and constructed, the engineers didn't consider thermal expansion, which is important because materials change when temperatures increase. This mistake led to serious problems, causing several windows to come loose and fall to the ground. Sadly, one of the falling windows hit a pedestrian, resulting in a death that shocked the community. Afterward, the victim's family took legal action and received an $18 million settlement. This case highlighted how serious construction mistakes can be and stressed the need for strict safety standards. After the incident, the city ordered that all the windows in the 44-story tower be replaced to prevent similar events from happening. Additionally, the building management set up strict monthly inspections for each window panel to ensure that they were secure and properly fitted. This unfortunate event emphasized the need for careful design and engineering, stressing the importance of keeping public safety in mind during construction projects. Let's move on to another case of an expensive construction mistake, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is considered a modern wonder attracting millions of visitors each year. Its construction mistake stemmed from building on soft, unstable soil without verifying its ability to support heavy structures. The builders used shallow foundations that failed to reach stable ground, leading to the tower's lean over time. This inadequate assessment of soil conditions resulted in significant problems, necessitating costly repairs estimated at over $30 million, while also decreasing property values in the surrounding area. The lack of regulations for safe building practices at the time meant that many buildings faced similar problems. This highlights the importance of properly evaluating soil conditions and using deep foundations when constructing large structures. Next on the list is the Sampoong department store, built for the 1988 Summer Olympics. It was a significant construction error in Seoul during the late 1980s. The mall was originally planned as a housing complex, but was later converted into a shopping mall. During construction, load-bearing columns were removed, but Sampoong Group leader Lee Jun ignored the safety concerns. By 1995, cracks appeared in the building, but Lee Jun refused to move out to avoid financial losses. The building collapsed, resulting in the deaths of 502 people, making it South Korea's worst peacetime disaster. The financial impact was estimated at $216 million, including property damage and lost earnings. The tragedy had lasting economic effects on individuals and businesses. Lee Jun, his son, and others were sent to prison for negligence, while city officials, including Mayor Kim, were also jailed. After the incident, South Korea changed its construction safety laws. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport, or BER, serves as the primary international airport for Berlin, Germany's capital. Located in Brandenburg, just south of Berlin, it began operations in late 2020. Today, it's Germany's third busiest airport after Frankfurt and Munich. Construction of the airport began in 2006 with an estimated cost of $2.4 billion, and it was expected to be completed by 2011. However, issues such as corruption and mistakes disrupted progress. In 2010, the construction company went bankrupt, further halting work. Additionally, the fire safety system didn't meet standards, as the automatic smoke extraction system was poorly designed, and emergency systems like sprinklers and fire alarms were not properly installed. In 2012, the airport failed the final technical inspection required for operation, which included wiring and escape routes. As a result, construction costs increased to 3 times the original estimate, reaching around $8.3 billion. Despite these challenges, BER finally opened in 2020. Last but not least is 20 Fenchurch Street, also known as the Walkie-Talkie Building, a commercial skyscraper in London completed in 2014. It was sold to the Hong Kong-based Lee Kum Kee Company for a record price of $1.8 billion. However, the real issue with the building originated from a construction mistake involving its large glass front. Due to the slightly concave shape on its south side, the building reflected sunlight with 6 times the normal intensity onto the street below, causing extreme heat. This heat was powerful enough to melt cars and crack sidewalks. A reporter even demonstrated the effect by frying an egg on the street using just the reflected sunlight. The building's architect, Raphael Vinoli, admitted that the issue could have been prevented with horizontal louvers, which were removed during planning. The problem was eventually resolved with a sunshade that cost about $14 million.